Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Canadian Shield. My name is Sterling, and I'm your host. So the NISCOP report on the foreign interference has been out a little while, and I've been kind of quiet about it, primarily because I wanted to let the dust settle. I don't like to participate in he said, she said. In the olden days, we would have had reporters in the building who would have had access to the people, and they would have told us the truth, and we would know by now what was happening. It would have been actually breaking. Instead, what we're stuck with is waiting for it to filter down to us, the real people, through the backroom discussions and all the rest of it. So we know that there's at least 10 members of the Liberal Party, some of them might even be caucus members, who are participating, who are actively colluding with foreign governments and giving them secrets of Canada. Now, there's a whole host of problems that I have with that, not the least of which is the lack of national identity that represents. However, today, Jagmeet Singh announced to the world that there's allegations of this foreign interference being involved in the Conservative leadership race. Now, I don't for one second believe it's anything other than a smear tactic. However, there are parts of Jagmeet Singh that need to be discussed, and since he's the one that's slinging the mud, we can take a look at that. Before we do that, though, I would like to encourage you to comment, like, and subscribe to this channel. All right, I'm going to open with Michael MP Cooper, who I feel like, because he's a member of the committee looking into it, he's got a sort of succinct summation or description of the situation. It's sharp and it's to the point. So let's have a listen.
The report of the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians with respect to foreign interference is truly shocking. The report revealed that certain members of Parliament and senators have wittingly, and I emphasize the word wittingly, engaged in supporting and assisting hostile foreign states. This includes meeting and communicating frequently with foreign diplomatic missions, sharing privileged information with foreign diplomats, and sharing information that was provided to members and senators in confidence with security officers of hostile foreign states, among other activities. It shouldn't need to be stated that the fundamental duty of every member of Parliament and senator is to put the interests of Canada first, not the interests of some other state. Any member of Parliament or senator who put the interests of a foreign state ahead of the interests of Canada have betrayed Canadians. They have betrayed the trust placed in them. They have betrayed their oath of office, and they have cast a dark cloud over the institution of Parliament and undermined public confidence that parliamentarians are advancing the interests of Canadians and not the interests of other foreign states.
Okay, so you heard that and you saw that. Now, I think that it sort of wraps it up pretty good. It's traitorous behavior of elected members of Parliament selling out our secrets and selling out our country to countries that probably don't participate in the democratic system. Now, when I think about all the times the Liberals screamed about Putin, Trump, only to turn around and have half of their caucus, at least 10 members of their caucus, or some members of their caucus and 10 members of their overall body participating with other countries to do things against Canada. I think it's time that we have an election. I think that this is the final straw. However, the problem that we have is that Jagmeet Singh will always end up supporting the Liberal Party because he wants to say that it's also about supplying confidence. It's interesting that he would come out talking about the leadership of the Conservative Party, whereas the Conservatives are only just talking about the action, and the Liberal and the NDP axis are trying to talk about the personality, which is telling. Because when you have a cult of personality, what you end up doing is doing whatever it is the one person wants. Whereas if you have a rules-based organization that is doing what's best for everybody, then you can trust that you can pull cogs in and out of that, and it will still maintain the impartiality that is required to make a democracy function. Jagmeet Singh, interestingly enough, is firmly in the pockets of the Khalistanis, which is a foreign country. Now, if you are well versed in the situation of Khalistan, you'll know that there's nearly 0% for Khalistan in India, and there's quite a bit of support for it in Canada. So if we remove that factor, we can still see that there's an influence that is not part of Canadian, influencing the leader of the NDP. At the very least, it's a religious organization that has the NDP in its pocket. Now we can point to other, I'm only saying that as an example. I'm not trying to cast shade onto the Sikhs. There's Sikhs in the Liberal Party. There's Sikhs in the Conservative Party. That's just the point that I'm trying to make, is that why is he casting stones? Why is he talking about Pierre Poilievre instead of talking about how his line has now been drawn, that he will no longer support the Liberal Party because they are clearly a party that is engaging in seditious actions with foreign states, with hostile foreign states, which means every vote that the NDP has ever cast in support of the Liberal Party, every vote they will in fact cast now, can only be called support for sedition. These guys are all lawyers. 90% of them are lawyers. They know that if you commit a crime and then if you rob a bank and then you come to my house and I'm like, okay, hide here while the heat settles down, even though I don't take any money from that bank robbery, I'm still culpable in that crime. If you unalive somebody and that person comes, you find out about that, like somebody does find out about it and that person doesn't turn you in, they are also culpable in that crime. So every time that the NDP casts a vote, every time they have casted a vote in support of the Liberal Party, they are in fact supporting sedition. They are in fact supporting assisting foreign hostile nations to work inside of Canada. Now, I don't think that we should be talking about Pierre Poilievre. I think that we should just be saying that he should be saying, I, as Jagmeet Singh, the NDP leader, am going to put forward a no confidence vote and trigger an election because it's enough is enough is enough is enough. If he feels that the people are so behind him, he shouldn't have to worry about whether or not he's going to get his $50,000 a year pension. He should just be willing to say, I believe the people are going to support me, and I don't want to support a seditious government that is actually turning against the Canadian people. But instead, he comes out and starts talking about how there might be a problem in the Conservative leadership. If there is a problem in the Conservative leadership, then we have a problem in the Conservative leadership. We have a problem in the Liberal leadership. And your solution is not to put forward a no confidence. Your solution is to not call for an election. I mean, that's how sharp you are, MP Singh. That's how far you're willing to take this fiasco, this joke. I'm sorry, dude, but where I come from, we have a name for people who are not serious about who do not support what they have to say. If the words coming out of their mouth are not matching their actions. And I'm sure that everyone would agree with me. If we call it, those people walk around with a red nose and floppy Ronald McDonald kind of stuff. I think that if you want to be taken seriously, you need to put forward a no confidence motion, and you need to bring this fiasco of a government to a screeching halt. If you're so sure that everyone is going to support you, because now you're saying that we know that there's sedition in the Liberal government, and you're saying that there might even be in the leadership race of the Conservative government, and you are the only one that is stopping the ability of this country to have an election, to put all of them out to pasture should we so desire, and get to the bottom of the problem once and for all, because a new government will be able to release the documents. The new government won't be invested in it unless it's the new government is, of course, another government of the Liberal Party, but that's a different video. In this video, I think that we need to understand that Jagmeet Singh is supporting sedition. Any NDP who votes in support of the Liberal Party, any bloc member who supports in the Liberal Party is in fact supporting sedition. We know it. We are aware of it, and there's absolutely no other name for it. All right, I'm going to wrap here. I want to thank you all for listening. I would appreciate it if you would like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this channel with all of your socials. I will talk to you next time.